Hello, my name is Whitney Beaupre, and this is Retail in the Target Language. Okay, and this is from secondary level PSE. Wow, thanks for all that information about your vacation. That seems really cool. Can you tell me a little bit about your family? So I recently got a new family. My mom got married again. So I have a stepdad. I also have one sister and no brothers. My sister's deaf like me, and my parents are both hearing, but they both know how to sign. Sometimes I need to remind them how to sign certain things. It's not necessarily that they're signing anything wrong, it's just I have to remind them what signs go with what words. Wow, that's really cool that you have a deaf sister. Having someone that close to you and having someone to chat with must be really nice, right? Yeah, having a deaf sister is better than having a hearing sister. We chat about a lot of different things. Sometimes we create different topics and just have fun. Wow, that's great. Do you have any pets? I have one dog. Dogs are fun. How long have you had him? What does he look like? I don't really remember how long I've had him, but he's kind of small, only yay big. But he's big for his breed, He's tan, I think dark tan, and his name is Spock. Oh, that's a cool name. How did he get that name? Spock got his name because he has really pointy ears, and that's like the character in Star Trek. He has pointy ears too, so that's why we named him Spock. My dad's the one who watches Star Trek a lot. I don't really watch it that often, but I do sometimes. Oh, that's really cute. So, Sabrina, what do you like to do in your spare time? What kind of hobbies do you have, or do you do any after-school activities? I like to do crafts. There's a lot of different crafts that I do. Sometimes I have like a can and I'll paint it or do different crafts like that and stuff. I also like to play volleyball and do cheerleading. Oh, cheerleading? How did you get involved in that? And does it take up a lot of your time? I have to practice. I practice a few times the week before tryouts and then have tryouts. I didn't actually make it the first time that I tried out, but some girls ended up dropping out of it, and so I got added, and I was finally on the team. But as a team, we don't really travel too much. Sometimes we go to GPSD, which is Great Plains School for the Deaf. But that's about it. Wow, so I'm assuming that you like cheer? Oh gosh, I love cheer. You get to support the school and do a bunch of different things. And I didn't want to play basketball, so it was something to do. Wow, you have some great school spirit, Sabrina. How long have you been cheering for? So far, I've been cheering for 1 year, and then this next time it'll be 2 years. They've already had the tryouts, and they already know who's on the team, and I made it. Wow, congratulations, that's so exciting. How many people are on your squad? There's a limit of 6 cheerleaders can be on, plus 1 mascot. Oh, cool. Can you describe your school mascot to me? It's a big cat. It's tan with black spots. Yeah, I think so. Wow, I can only assume that costume gets pretty hot. So as far as academics, what is your favorite class right now? Favorite class, I'd probably have to say it's English. I really like to write and read different books and stuff like that. I have a lot of favorite books right now, but I'd say that my top book is scary books, like Goosebumps. Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about that book series, Goosebumps. Do you know who the author is? Yeah, it's R.L. Stine, and yeah, he's the author of Goosebumps. Um, wow, that's really awesome. So, do you have a favorite teacher at school? I don't really have a favorite teacher of mine. Well, I guess I do have a favorite teacher, but it's not my teacher. It's a teacher for a different class. Um, that's fine if he's not your teacher. Can you tell me about him anyway? Why is he your favorite? Well, he helps me solve problems, and if I ever need someone to talk to, I can always go to that person and talk to them about it instead of having to go to my mom. Yeah, problem solving is a very important skill. In your life so far, have you had many problems? Well, I mean, my life is pretty positive so far. When I was growing up, we were kind of poor, but, we got through it. The most important thing is that we're happy. You have a really optimistic outlook on life. So, for the summer, can you tell me about your job experience? Yeah, last summer I worked for CSD, which is Communication Services for the Deaf, and I really loved it there. This year I won't be working there because I have to go through JTPA. I really hate it, but it's better than nothing. So, what did you do when you worked there? At CSD, I was an intern, so I would help people whenever they needed it. So I would just go up to people, ask if they needed help with anything, and they'd let me know, and I would do it. I also did a lot of filing, or I'd make labels for the files. Sometimes I had to do stuff on the computer, but not very often. That sounds great. So what kind of people worked there? They were deaf. There's also interpreters there, too, that when a deaf person needs to use the phone, the interpreter would help them with that. That's awesome. So in the future, do you plan on working with deaf or hearing people? Well, neither really. I want to be independent and work for myself. I want to be a graphic designer, on computers and stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Why did you choose the graphic arts? I just love the graphic arts. I can create different things. I've created calendars and stuff like that, and I really like it. Wow, that's great. Do you design that stuff yourself? Well, some things no, but I've heard that I could make brochures and stuff like that. I plan to try and do that in the future at some point, so that could be cool. But calendars, yes, I make those myself. It's really easy, honestly. You can create it and design it all by yourself from just from the ideas that you have. You can use PageMaker or Photoshop or really whatever you want to create these. Wow, that sounds really cool. In your life, do you have any role models? Not really. I don't have one role model specifically, but everyone's kind of a role model. Like my mom, dad, sister, friends, they're all role models to me. How are they your role models? They help me solve problems if I need it, and they listen to what I have to say. Do you consider yourself a role model? Yeah, I guess for some people I might be. Like for my friends, I help them solve their problems and I listen to what they have to say. How do you help them solve their problems? Well, I talk with them and I try to help calm them down and solve their problems in different ways. It really depends on the situation on how we're going to solve the problem. Can you tell me about a specific problem that you've helped people solve? Well, just for example, like if somebody died in somebody's family, I would talk to them and help calm them down and stuff like that. Can you give me another example of a problem that you've helped someone face? Yeah, well, I had these two friends, and I was friends with both of them, but they were arguing, and so they weren't friends anymore. And then I talked to one of them and listened to what she had to say and kind of got them back together so that they're friends now again. Wow, you're really good at problem solving. Have you ever thought of having a career as a psychologist? Oh, as a psychologist? No. Mm-mm. So in your life, is there any famous people, maybe deaf people, that you kind of look up to or that have impacted you at all? I don't know. Famous deaf person. I guess I would say Marlee Matlin because we have very similar life experiences. I mean, she voices, but only when she wants to, not when she's forced to or anything like that. So, how are you and Marlee similar? Well, she's deaf and I'm deaf, and we're both trying to live in the hearing world and stuff like that. What ways do you try to fit into the hearing world? What does that look like? Well, learning to voice is a big one. I've been learning that for a long time, and my parents helped me with that. Yeah. When do you prefer to voice? Well, sometimes my voice gets sore, and so when that happens, I don't like to voice. But I mostly voice if I need to communicate with hearing people. Sometimes I teach them sign language, and so I need to be able to speak to do that. When do you choose not to voice? Well, mainly when I'm in restaurants, I don't like to voice because sometimes people don't understand me, especially if it's loud, so I find it better just to write things down and pass it to the waiter or waitress and do things that way. Wow, well, thank you so much for talking to me, Sabrina. It was a real pleasure getting to know you. Thanks. Well done.